Boruto Chapter 74 spoilers came early, so this is your spoiler warning right here. Looks like Organic Dinosaur is back in the action as she's given us almost the entire chapter spoilers already before anybody has gotten any leaked panels. So rather than read the entire chapter to you, I'm just going to go over the biggest takeaways and things to look forward to. So the first thing is, in light of my last video, it seems they went with the option number 1, which was for Amato, Eida, and Daemon to arrive in the Elite Village. Which means Code's not going to invade this chapter, and probably not in the immediate future either. If he does, I will be surprised to be honest, since Daemon will be in the village to beat him up again. But the chapter starts off with their arrival and Shikamaru and Sai greeting them, where Sai is blushing and thinking about how pretty Eida is. Now, what's really interesting is that Eida begins levitating, so that way she can fly to her apartment so that she doesn't stand out as much. That seems a little weird because I imagine this would also make her stand out when people realize a woman is just flying through the air. But it seems to have something to do with the lovability aspect of things, as the spoilers note that Sai's blush faded away right after she started levitating. So maybe it's because it's just harder to actually see her, so that way it doesn't affect as many people. I think this is really interesting though, because the only people we've ever seen fly in the Naruto-verse are Atsuki vessels, people with 6-path Senjutsu, Tendo Pain using the Diva Path abilities in a unique way, cyborgs with rocket feet like Delta, and Onoki using the Lightning Boulder Jutsu. Realistically, it's probably not because she has 6-path Senjutsu or the Lightning Boulder Jutsu. It's probably not the rocket feet thing, since nobody mentions her having mechanical parts like that, which only leaves us with Atsuki vessels, or using a Rinnegan. So given that Amato says it's not unusual and mentions how Atsuki can fly and how Boruto and Kawaki will probably start flying around too, it does seem like they might be implying Eida actually does have Atsuki connections, like I've talked about in 2 previous videos, so you should definitely watch those after this one here. But we then switch over to Boruto, Kawaki, and Konohamaru in their new apartment for the room sharing mission. And Kawaki has a flashback of Momoshiki standing next to Boruto in the Hokage office, so they're probably going to play up that little bit of tension there. And then we get a scene with Mitsuki, Sarada, Chocho, Inojin, and Shikadai, where Eida flies over them at the end. The most interesting reaction is by far Mitsuki's, as he actually appears to have fallen in love with Eida, saying it's the first time he's felt this emotion before, and he lightly blushes too. Obviously Mitsuki didn't simp for Eida like Delta did, but he did show signs of affection, meaning we can probably toss out the theory that Mitsuki is mostly Atsuki DNA. At best, he only has like a teeny tiny portion of Toneri DNA, and it's not enough to make him immune to Eida's ability, like Boruto and Kawaki. We then finally see Boruto and Kawaki meet Eida and Daemon, where Konohamaru reacts very heavily to Eida, Mitsuki is smiling, but Sarada and Shikadai don't seem to be affected yet. And they wonder if that's because they didn't really get to see her yet, which makes sense, but they also note that different people are affected in different ways, so that could also be something there. But I do think this indicates that I probably am right about you needing to not only be in Eida's presence to be affected, but you probably also need to actually look at her too. It probably doesn't work all that great if you can't really see her very clearly. Later on though, Daemon apparently decides to be a menace and pick a fight, where Daemon just one-shots both Boruto and Kawaki, knocks them out, showing everyone who the real boss is. It looks like nobody stands a chance except for Himawari in lock-on mode, because she's got some one-shot feats in Naruto and Kurama too. But all jokes aside, I do actually kind of hope we see Himawari meet Daemon at some point. I think it could be interesting. We then apparently have Eida basically petting the shaved part of Kawaki's head on her lap while he's knocked out. And then the chapter ends with Naruto, Shikamaru, and Amato calling into an intercom in the apartment to speak to Boruto, Kawaki, and Eida, and Daemon. So the chapter seems like it's mostly going to be dialogue again, but we'll get to see Daemon beat up Boruto and Kawaki for some action, and at the very least the dialogue is progressing the story forward. It's not just recap information, so I think most of you guys will be happier about this chapter than last one. And I do hope Ikimoto can make the Eida and Daemon moments funny, especially the ones with Kawaki, where maybe he says something rude to Eida and Daemon, maybe that's why he starts to pick a fight with Kawaki. I feel like it's a complete missed opportunity to not add some comedy into the mix with these characters. But I want to hear what you guys think. How do you feel about these spoilers, and how do you feel about the direction the story seems to be headed in? Are you happy about the room sharing mission beginning? And what do you expect from Code at this point? Let me know in the comment section below, but that's a wrap on today's video, so thank you guys for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!